Right, good morning. We're still in the morning, and a very quick introduction. This is Supreme Academy, Supreme Success Academy. This is a kind of center school that deals with the privilege and nourishment of your children who actually seek an admission into true direct entry. Also, we cover quite a range of O-level syllabuses, of course, A-level syllabuses. Anyway, I am by the name of Satunji Ibrahim. I'm going to be your literature teacher. I remember the literature, of course, structured into three types. We have, of course, drama, poetry, and prose. But today, our emphasis or focus will be on drama. And today, of course, it's going to be Renaissance era. And during the Renaissance era, we have a particular era called Elizabethan era drama, of course, that actually falls into Renaissance era. But very quickly, we believe in generational meaning. Meaning is very important in literature. So let's say something very quickly about the meaning of Renaissance. Renaissance, of course, is a word derived from the from the French word, which of course means rebirth. And people in the writing during the Elizabethan era, of course, derive so much pleasure and capability to write from this particular era, draw their inspiration, their emotion and all that from this particular era, and of course, boil it down to specifically to those cultures that happen to be Greco-Roman culture. And now today, you're going to be the play written by Shakespeare, and the title of the play is King Lear. But very quickly, it is important to look into the structure of this play. As I mentioned earlier, that the writer during the Elizabethan era borrowed heavily from the Greco-Roman literary culture. And of course, one of the things they borrow heavily is the play structure. All Shakespearean plays are structured into 5 acts. As you can see on the board, we have all the plays. For example, we have Act 1. This is what exposition. Act 2 is called complication. And then Act 3 is called climax. Act 4 is anticlimax. Then Act 5 is called denouement, or we call it resolution. And these are the things, no matter how, the way you look at it, you're going to see that all Shakespearean plays cover this specific structure, and those plays during this particular era. Now, King Lear. Let's look into the structure of King Lear, written by Shakespeare. Right? Act 1 has 5 scenes. Act 2, 4 scenes. Act 3, 7 scenes. Act 4, 7 scenes. Act 5, 3 scenes. But really, we've made mention of Queen Elizabeth era. And what do we mean by that? Queen Elizabeth era, of course, covered the rule, the reign of Queen Elizabeth. Of course, when you look back historically, you see that Queen Elizabeth ruled England from 1558 to 1603. Hence, the drama of this era came to be known as Elizabethan era. Of course, we mentioned that Act 1, exposition. Act 2, complication. Act 3, climax. Act 4, anticlimax. Of course, Act 5, denouement or resolution. These are the character lists within the plot of the play. We may mention, of course, our focus today will be on King Lear, written by William Shakespeare. And remember that Shakespeare, of course, borrowed heavily from Greco-Roman literary culture of those periods. And these are the least character lists, of course. King Lear, the king of Britain. Of course, we have 3 daughters. Of course, this particular king has 3 daughters. The name of these daughters, the eldest of the daughter, among the daughters is Goneril, and of course, followed by the younger daughter, Regan. And then we have Cordelia, the youngest daughter of the king. And we have the fool. Fool here is King Jester. You know, in those days you have a dramatic effort by William Shakespeare, of course, also the injection of a comedy that made the king and bring about the moment of relaxation in the play. And of course we have Hell of Gloucester, that is the Lear's cohort and loyal friend. And we have Hell of Kent, later known as Caius. Of course, Lear, loyal friend, of course, and supporter. And now we have Edgar, later known in the play, in the middle of the play, known as Poor Tom, Gloucester's older son and his only legitimate son. And later on we have another son by Gloucester by the name Edmund, right? Gloucester, younger, of course, illegitimate son. And we have Duke of Albany. Duke of Albany, Goneril's husband. Then we have Duke of Cornwall, that is Regan's husband. Then we have Oswald gonna raise Stewart, and then we have King of France marries Cordelia. Then we have Duke of Burgundy, of course, the guy trying to woo Cordelia as well. Act 1 of the play, King Lear. Remember, Act 1 structured into 5 scenes, and we have to read the summary of Act 1 for proper understanding of you students out there. And Act 1 of the play, right, begins in a very circumstantial manner that of course lay emphasis on how to project in the direction of the exposition of the play. Now the first thing you ought to know is that the play revolves around the lives and circumstances and conditions of the king, King Lear, the king of Britain. Right? King Lear in his old age, right, just decide one day that I want to divide my kingdom into 3. So once I want to realize, I want to know how continue what is imagination. The king will say, I want to retire, I want to settle down a little bit. But that is a kind of what a kind of heir say. But this king in particular says, I want to retire and will divide my kingdom into 3 parts. I give one to my heir, the 3 daughters I have, alright? Alright, let's read the summary of the play, alright? King Lear, the king of Britain, of course, elderly and wanting to retire from his throne and divide his kingdom into 3. And remember that this king has 3 daughters. And the name of the daughters, namely, they are, number 1, we have Gonnery, the eldest daughter, and number 2, we have Regan, the younger daughter, and of course the youngest daughter among them is Cordelia. Now King says, I want to divide my, but before I do this, you, my daughters, you must undergo a kind of love test. You tell me how much you love your father, your king, your lord. Right? And like we see this particular lady by the name Guneria. Guneria says, oh my king, the world cannot express my love for you. In fact, I love you more than anything in the world. This is kind of what deception, insincerity, flattery. But the king buys this flattery and insincerity. The king says, oh, my daughter, come near me. Oh, you love your king so much, your dad so much, your father so much. Oh, I'll give you what? The biggest land I ever had, as well as a gift for you to take as well as a kingdom. Right? Then we have, going by the way, along the side, we have the second daughter by the name Regan. Give her also what processes and expresses our own love to our father and king of Britain. And by way of flattery, not really sincere, remember this. And we say Regan says to the father, oh my dad, do the same thing that my sister says to you. But I even love you more than my sister ever will love you. Right? So this is a play, but we see that the king, once the king has reached the older age, maybe the king is kind of insane. Right? He actually doesn't understand the sincerity, the differentiation between reality and appearance. You can see that. Or we see that the king actually buys this. Now the king now says, but at the start of thing, we believe that the king loves Cordelia so much. Right? We can see the king loves Cordelia so much. So this love thing is all about saying, oh, I know Cordelia is my favorite. Right? But I believe that Cordelia will say something even greater and better and more sincere to me. But Cordelia, instead of Cordelia to say something, Cordelia is like, oh, I cannot, what can I say? In a kind of soliloquy, talking to herself. Oh, how can I express my love to my father, to my love to our king? I love my dad. But how can I just descend so low, stoop so low, and say that out of insincerity? Just the way my 2 sisters have done. I say that I love you, Dad. Meanwhile, this is not really sincere. But I'm going to say this. But Cordelia says, oh, Dad, oh, I don't know what to say. But one thing I will say is that there is no way I love you, but when I get married, I will love my husband as well. Alright? Now you see that Cordelia is like, nothing, my Lord. I don't have anything to say. But you say, by the end of the day, she's like, okay, I'll say to him, my Lord, that, okay, but I love you, just like a daughter will love a dad or a father. But one thing is very clear. There is no way that I will not love my husband as well. But because of this reason, we see how King Lear, someone say maybe out of madness, or out of what? The weakness of his brain as a result of old age. She's like, oh, you can say that. Oh, your dad? Oh, she's like, I disown you. And the properties, the gifts, the king has already promised, taken away from Cordelia. But then one little thing we ought to know about this is this, that Cordelia in particular, she's the only one among the three daughters that's actually sincere. Talking about Goneri, talking about Riga, they are not sincere. But these other ones say all this to win the love and preference of their dad or their king. And this is the play for you anyway. Right, let's continue. Now the heir of Gloucester and the heir of Kent observe that by dividing the kingdom into two, the king Lear has made a grievous mistake by giving the kingdom into two husbands. Right? That is the husband of Goneri, Duke Albany, and the husband of Regan, Duke Conrad. And this is very bad for the land. This, of course, this particular mistake is what actually has resulted in the downfall of the king. Because we later get to know that the king is what? Is betrayed by his own daughters. Who are the betrayers in this play? Of course, those two daughters that represent insincerity, flattery, and of course, a kind of what? A kind of grievous, a kind of greedy attitude of predilection in that regard. Now we see all this happening as a sort of what? A sort of grievous mistake, madness portrayed by King Lear. And we see how Duke, we see how Gloucester, the head of Gloucester and the head of Kent, they try to come into the rescue to tell the king what is right to do. But in the course of that, we see that the furious king says something to who? To the head of Kent. How could you, in your wildest dream, interfere in my ruling? As a result of that, what happened to Kent? He actually was sent Kent on what? On banishment. You're out of this country forever. I do not want to set my eyes on you again. And this is a run-out on the part of the king to take such an irrational and rash decision. So this is a play for you. And of course, you really have to proceed and to see to what actually happened in the long run. And as this transpires, the king now promises that what is going to happen is that between you, Goneri, and Regan, I will come to spend time with you and alternate this period between both of you. Since now I don't I've disowned your youngest, my sister, by the name Cordelia, because of what? Because of her insincerity towards me. But in the course of that, we see that two suitors are trying to win the heart, to win the hand of Cordelia in marriage. And what really happened? We see that Duke of Burgundy says that because you, Cordelia, your father says you have no gift of land anymore. Because of that, what will I do with you? Oh, I took off my hand from you. I cannot marry a daughter without a dowry. But it is what? The king of France says, oh, I will go for you. But honest Cordelia, you have been able to demonstrate sincerity. Right? I see integrity in you. For a daughter to say like, oh, I will drop whatever it is the king has given to me, but I will go for something that is tangible more than insincerity. Of course, this is the play for you. We hope to continue from where we stopped today, and I hope that you'll be able to get something really important in this regard. Bye for today.